Good evening, good evening.
Hello.
Hello, and welcome to Tuesday Talks with the Conways.
I'm Courtney.
And I'm Chris. We are in a different location, so hopefully everything works well. The lighting, thankfully, is good,
Yeah.
but hopefully our internet is good and you all can hear us. So feel free to drop us a comment, letting us know that you can see us and hear us. Everything looks like it's good on our end.
So hopefully,
Yes, we were on a little vacation this weekend and decided to stay one extra day. So we are coming from Atlanta, world of Coca-Cola. So that's not sponsored, but I went to my happy place yesterday.
he loves
I love
Coca-Cola. He
Coca-Cola.
collects Coca-Cola
Yes,
stuff.
I collect Coca-Cola items. My grandfather worked for Meals on Wheels. And so Diane said no. Is she able to? Does that mean you can't hear us?
Or
Or
does that mean there's no issues?
no issues. Hopefully, everyone can hear us. But yes, he worked for Coca-Cola, Meals on Wheels, and he collected Coca-Cola items, and so just he passed that on to me, and I just love it. The World of Coke is a really amazing place. So if you happen to go to Atlanta, it's a lot of fun. So thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed last week. Um,
Yes, that's actually why we were like, we're not canceling tonight, even though we're going to be out of town because we missed you guys last week. So,
yes, we didn't want to miss it. She said, "Well, we could probably nope. Let's make sure we
yeah.
don't miss we don't miss anymore. And plus, we needed some downtime, so we're actually going to be heading home tomorrow. So it's nice to be able to sit down and
Yeah,
relax
we've been
and breathe.
walking all day long.
Yes, we did the Atlanta Zoo this morning, and then we did the aquarium this afternoon. And then we did the World of Coke yesterday. So we've been going, 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 going. Plus, we were in Florida over the weekend, so lots
Been
of drive.
busy. I'm going to need a vacation from our vacation.
Yes.
So,
Gonna need a little extra sleep. So yes, thank you so much for bearing with us. Last week, hope you enjoyed it. But we're glad to be back on track with Healthy. So we are going to start our topic this week. So if you want to go ahead and talk about and introduce it
yes,
to
we
everyone.
are going to be talking about all about weeklies. We get asked almost literally every week about weeklies. If we use our weeklies, if we suggest people use them. So we figured we'd do a
Or
whole
what are
topic.
they? Some
Or
people
what?
might
Yeah,
not
some
know
people
what they
don't
are.
even really understand what they're there for.
And how they might also work alongside
Mhm.
the activity bites as well.
Yes.
So weeklies are basically in the Healthy app is designed to give you an additional allowance to use in addition to your daily allowance. So that's definitely different from what you can have on your daily allowance, but it gives you a little bit extra flexibility. They are built into the plan, so using them is actually a good thing. You'll still be in a deficit. You'll still be on a plan for loss. The using them is not something you should be afraid of.
Yes. I know some people, and even when I first started on Healthy, I was scared of my weeklies. I was like, I'm going to not use these because if I don't use these, I'm going to lose more weight. But it was actually the exact
Mhm.
opposite. The weeklies are there to work with the program. Like
Mhm.
they're there for you to use.
If you don't use them,
Um,
you're not going to probably likely get enough calories.
yes. So they are kind of like, how do I explain it? Okay, so they basically give you extra calories to eat, basically.
Well, it gives you more flexibility. You have a set amount per each day, but you are allowed an additional amount, whether you use it in a
Mhm.
snack. So you can have a snack that is a little bit more higher in bites and use some weeklies there. You can use it all in one go if you wanted to have a special treat. But they're designed to give you extra flexibility and allow you to have those treats with an occasion, as long as you stay within the dailies and
Yes,
the
I don't even
weeklies.
remember how many weeklies I get. Let me check.
Yes. Not really quite sure, but the weeklies will definitely be dependent and vary based on the plan and how active you are. Your weeklies are also going to be different depending, between Courtney and I, her being a woman, me being a man, me also being taller.
Yes, I get 42 weeklies.
Mhm.
I can't remember if everybody starts at the same amount or not, but we will talk about earning weeklies in a little bit. You can also earn a few extra weeklies,
Mhm.
and there's a couple ways to do that. But I get 42, and sometimes I just use all of that in one day. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna have a treat day. I'm gonna use it all in one day.
Mhm.
Sometimes I split it up. Like if I have a couple days that week where I know I'm gonna have a heavier dinner, I'll use like 20 of them for
Mhm.
one night, 20 for another night. And sometimes I will roll them over and we will explain later what that means in earning earning them. But like we said, they are absolutely there to utilize.
You can use them for like planning things in advance, or you can also use them to help you not be over if you happen to have an extra unplanned snack.
Yes. And Jody mentioned on Instagram that she always used her weeklies, but she can understand why some people don't.
Mm,
I do, like I said, when I first started the program, I felt like I shouldn't have used them. And I honestly probably was not even eating enough of my bites as it is, anyways,
mhm,
because I had that, I guess, unhealthy mindset that less is more.
mhm.
Eat less, I'm going to lose more.
Not
Now that
always the
I'm more
case.
educated and I've worked the plan for how long now? Like 5 years.
Mhm.
I know what works and I know that they're there for a reason.
Exactly, and that's exactly what Penny says. They're baked into the plan, and it is recommended to at least use some. You don't have to use all of
Yes.
them, but it definitely is recommended to use
Mhm.
some of your
Because
weeklies.
just like with calories, you get an allotment of calories and you're not always going to eat all of those calories. So
Hmm.
just like that with your weeklies, you do get these weeklies to use. And if you don't use them all, that's fine. But
Hmm.
don't just sit them there and be like, I'm not going to use these because if I use these, I'm not going to lose weight.
Absolutely. So you don't have to use them all. Use
Yes.
them. Yeah, get rid of that diet mentality. That was probably one of our first
Yes.
ever topics when we started doing the healthy podcast for Tuesday nights. Is the diet mentality is really hard to break.
Mhm.
So definitely keep that in mind as you're going through any program,
Yes.
especially this one.
And like we said, it's important to understand your weeklies, and know how many you have available, and understanding also how they differ from your daily and your weekly, how they do differ. Daily is there for you to use each day.
Mhm.
You have that allotted amount each day. I get 30, 39. I get 39 a day. But my weeklies are there basically to use how I want.
Mhm.
Like the dailies are there each day. That's all there is
Starts
to it.
over every
Starts
day. It
over the
starts
next
over
day, but
fresh.
your weeklies are there for you to use however you want. Like you get the freedom for your weeklies. You get the freedom to say on Friday night, I'm going to go crazy and I'm going to use all 42 of my weeklies. Or you get the freedom to say, I instead of having 39 bites a day, I want to have 45 bites a day. So I'm going to split these up
Yeah,
throughout the week.
split them up through the week.
So you have the
However you want.
freedom to do that. And I love weeklies because they do give you a little bit more freedom within the plan.
And that's what they're designed for, to allow you to have the freedom to enjoy the things you want. Because we've talked about this before, enjoying the things that you like is in moderation is key to successful,
Mhm.
healthy lifestyle. Not a diet, but it is good for a
Mhm.
healthy, successful lifestyle.
Yes, and I also sometimes like to use them if I'm craving something and I'm just craving, like I'm not like my brain is not going to get off of this. If I want that big cinnamon roll. I don't know why I said cinnamon. I love cinnamon rolls. If I want that big 20 bite cinnamon roll, and I know I do not have the bites for it in the day, but I still have my weekly sitting there. I can use 20 of my weeklies and I will still be fine. I will still probably lose weight that week, even though I had a massive 500 calorie cinnamon roll because I used my weeklies on them.
Mhm. And somebody on Instagram asked, "Do all plants have weeklies?" I think they
I want to
do.
say all the plans with bites do have weeklies.
Yes.
I do not remember how it works on the calories. Um,
But we can follow up on that. I took a screenshot of your username and the question to make sure we can double check, but
yes.
I'm not sure if the calorie plan does. But anything that has bites does should have weeklies.
Okay, and I'm switching over to the calorie plan to see what that looks like. Yeah, there's not all the plans that have bites do give weeklies. The calories you do not get extra, but you can earn extra with like activity and
You can earn extra calories for activity, but yes, all the bite plans do for sure have the weeklies.
yes.
Very, very good question. We love questions. So you can use these to plan ahead. So you can use these for birthday parties, special events, holidays are definitely a very good one. Somebody on Instagram mentions the Conquer Cravings. They have 35 weekly, and Cobb Cartus has 49. So it can definitely vary by
Yes, because
plan.
like I said, we're on Better Balance, and I believe I said 42.
Hmm. Yes. So pay attention to that. You can see it in the app at the
Mhm.
top. It'll show you your activity bites, your weekly bites, and then your daily.
Yes, and someone also said Sugar Smart has, I believe,
45.
45.
Mhm.
So yes, they do all have them all other than the calories because calories doesn't use bites and weeklies is extra bites, not extra calories.
Mhm.
So I guess it
Exactly.
is technically extra calories, which you know what I mean.
Mhm. And then we also wanted to bring up, even though that's kind of a little bit separate, you can earn more weeklies or activity bites.
Technically,
Go ahead.
with your activity bites, you can't. Okay. In the app, you can set it to where you roll over your weeklies, and 4 of your unused weeklies or activity bites. I believe your activity bites can work towards this too. I could
Mhm.
be wrong. If I am, please correct me. Up to 4 of them can be rolled over into the next day. So like I haven't used any weeklies this week, so I have like 50 something weeklies now because I've been rolling over 4 weeklies each day into the next day. So you can earn more. So if you know, like if your week starts on Sunday and you know Friday night you have a big event that's going to be more than all of your weeklies, you can go lighter some days and save some of your bites
Mhm.
to roll over into the next day. But also
Yeah.
with activity bites as well.
Yeah, so you can earn more as well. But one of the things that I wanted to bring up is don't use extra activity to punish yourself for what you've eaten.
Mhm.
If you are able to enhance your activity a little bit more, if you've indulge it a little bit, but don't use it as a punishment. And don't and try not to use it as a reward system either. So just make sure that you're balancing your eating as well as your activities. But you can definitely earn more activity in weekly bites by being more active because you're burning more calories. You're being more active. You're going to need more fuel to keep you going.
Yes, and on my plan, I don't know if this change like if you can change this in the settings or not. On mine, if I use my activity bites, it does not eat into my weeklies yet. So if you do earn activity bites, you will also have more weeklies for yourself because you're gonna be using the activity bites before your
First.
weeklies.
Mhm.
I have my activity bites set to where I can only use them on the day that I've done the activity. You can change it to where they accrue during the week. But I have mine set to where I accrue them just the day of that activity. But 4 do roll over if I don't use them all.
Yes, and somebody on Instagram mentions that Better Balance is the
Oh,
only one that they know of that the 4 bites rollover,
yes, I
and
did forget to mention that.
you
Yes,
can
thank you.
opt into that or not have that. Not everyone wants that ability to roll them over.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, and so we mentioned not going overboard. So next is to track and monitor. We want to make sure that we're using the weeklies that are built into the program, but don't overuse them and don't eat more weeklies than you actually have allotted.
Yes, because one thing is you have to track honestly if you're going to really, really utilize these weeklies. Because if I'm only tracking half of my day, my weeklies are still sitting there for me to have, even though I might have dipped into them. And, my app might say I've had 30 bites today, but really I've had 50 bites and I've used up, 11 of my weeklies, but they're still sitting there completely there. So make sure if you're utilizing your weeklies, honestly track everything. Don't just track half of the day and be like, oh, I'm good. Because then you could be dipping into your weeklies and not realize it. And then when you're at the end of the week, you're like, oh, I've rolled over all these weeklies, or I have all these weeklies that I haven't used. I'm going to use them. And then it turns out you've eaten a lot more than you really should have that week because you've utilized your weeklies without tracking it. So
Mhm.
one thing is very, very, very important to track everything. Track honestly if you're going to be utilizing those weeklies like you should.
Yeah, something Instagram says that they rarely use your weeklies, and that's absolutely
Mm,
okay.
I get a ton of activity bites, a
Mm.
ton of activity bites. So unless I'm just having a big treat day that week, I don't use all my weeklies very often because I typically dip into my activity bites before I dip into my weeklies. But I
Mhm.
am still using extra bites each day. They're just coming from my activity bites instead of my weeklies. So
Hmm, absolutely. So you don't have to. Let's see. Should we be using weekly points?
yes, they're there for you to use. They're there to give you a little bit of extra freedom
Mhm.
throughout. Now don't just eat extra if
Just
you're not
because.
hungry just because those weeklies are there.
Yeah. If
But
you're
they are
legitimately
there,
full,
but do not
satisfied.
feel guilty
Mhm.
if you are
Yeah.
using them.
Absolutely. I would probably use them a little bit. You wouldn't have to use them every day or every week. But that does give you a little bit. When you say rarely, it means you probably do use them some,
Yeah.
and that is absolutely okay. You don't have to deprive yourself of the weeklies. They're designed to give you some more flexibility. But if you're getting the nutrition you need in your daily bites without
That is loud.
the allotment, you don't have to worry about using those if you extra. All right. And careful, that's the we're using the hotspot. So
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was looking something up for someone.
yeah, mine is on the calorie
Okay.
command, not mine. She was looking to see. Somebody asked if not all plans have that rollover option. We're fairly certain not. So Jody, today and yesterday, she asked if we've how many steps we've averaged on vacation. Today and yesterday, a little bit more frequent because we were actually walking around and doing a lot of activities. I think Courtney got quite a bit. I've got 9,200 today. Um, but this weekend when we were in Florida, we didn't get very many steps.
Yeah, they're not rolling over.
Yep. So the other plans don't roll over. It's a better balance that that does roll over with the four activity or weekly bites.
Yes. Yes. Have you mentioned that yet?
Somebody on Instagram says that they think that sometimes they've under-eaten and then they stall. That definitely can be a
Yeah.
problem.
Your body's going to be storing fat and then you're not going to be able to lose weight. You're going to plateau instead. You're not going to gain weight. Like some people think that you're just going to gain weight. You probably won't gain weight,
Mhm.
but you will stall and plateau. We have been there. We have done that.
Because metabolism slows
Mhm.
down. It thinks that you're not getting enough food, kind of goes into kind of starvation mode, so to speak. So we don't want to undercut too much, and it is okay sometimes to undercut a little bit for a short period of time, but you don't want to do that
For a long
consistently.
period of time, your body's going to start storing fat. Even if you are in like diet mode for too long, even if it's a healthy deficit, you want to give yourself a break occasionally, which we've talked about breaks on here before. Giving yourself a break occasionally, just to let your body kind of reset and then get back into weight loss.
Some people, I've heard it called reverse dieting. You
Mhm.
might occasionally need to um, do like maintenance or have just a little bit above your calorie deficit to kind of give yourself a break and allow your metabolism to kind of reset a little bit.
Yeah, so definitely if you have found yourself plateauing and you think you're not eating enough, try to up it a little bit. Sometimes it's hard because sometimes when I'm like counting bites, counting calories, sometimes I'm just like, I'm not hungry. Like I feel like I've eaten a ton some days and I'm just not hungry. So don't like force yourself to eat if you're not wanting it. But if you are still hungry, eat something. You'll be fine. I
Yes.
promise.
We talked about volume eating to help make sure you're full. Linda mentioned that she used half her weeklies on Sunday, and her week starts on Sunday, so she's going to have to plan a little bit more carefully with the rest of them, and that is okay too. So just make sure you're aware of those. It's great to use your weeklies on Sunday. That just means you have to be a little more strategic in your planning and your budgeting your bites for the rest of the week, and that is absolutely okay.
Yes, and sorry, excuse me. And like we've mentioned, if you know you have an event coming up, like a birthday party,
Mhm.
holiday, just like a girls' night out or something, or a boys' night out, then plan your like I sometimes will plan my whole week. I'll be like, okay, dinner's gonna be this. And like it's not like it's set in stone, like this is what I have to eat, but like kind of a rough idea so I know how many weeklies I have left for my
Mhm.
event that I'm having. So definitely plan ahead if you can. Like I'm a big planner when it comes to like eating healthy and stuff. I try to like plan my whole week if I can. So plan ahead. Planning ahead is great. To make sure that you do not go overboard with your weeklies. But sometimes things just come up that you're not expecting.
You
Like,
can't plan for everything,
yeah.
unfortunately.
So if you go overboard or if you use all your weeklies and you are like negative 50 weeklies, it is okay. One bad week is not going to ruin all of your progress. I promise that. And even then, like it's fine. I promise.
Yeah, we've made the comment that you didn't gain all this weight all at once. So if you have a bad week, it's not going to all come back in 1 week. Just make sure that you get back on there and you don't let it derail you, because we've had that happen too.
Mhm.
We've had something come up and we're not doing that good, and we just kind of keep that going up. We'll get back on track tomorrow, and then it goes into weeks, and then it goes into months. So don't let that go longer than it should. But
Mhm.
don't worry about the day off or the week off.
Yes, and someone on Instagram said that they like to have a treat meal every 6 weeks or so, just something a little heavier. We are typically like once a month kind of people.
Mhm.
We used to be weekly. We used to be those people that would like everything would fly out the door on weekends. Yeah,
Not anymore.
it was like we were not making any progress. We were basically maintaining for 2 years straight because of that. So now we're like, we typically pick like what do we really, really, really want this month, just this month, and we'll do like one treat meal each month.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that we don't like, have delicious things. Like we will have pizza probably once a week, and I'm talking like Costco good pizza, but we work it into our day,
Yeah,
and that's
we
where the
make
weeklies
that
come
plan.
in.
That's not a cheat meal if what you enjoy fits within your day.
Yes.
When we are able to go and get like a Costco slice of pizza, not a whole pizza, we go and get one slice of Costco pizza. We can make that work in a day. That's not a cheat. Now,
Hmm.
when we go to Korean barbecue and we get tons of Korean
Like
barbecue
we
and
did last
dumplings
night.
and sushi, that is a legitimate cheat meal, and that is something we do try to keep to once a month.
Yes, absolutely. But and like when we do have our treats, we probably do go over our weeklies completely, like out the door,
Like, yeah,
gone in
we
that
went
whole
to Korean
entire
barbecue
meal.
last night. That was, not within our dailies or our weeklies,
Hmm.
and that is okay because we don't do that very often at all.
Yes. But like we said, weeklies are there to kind of help you have that balanced lifestyle because
Mhm.
everything in moderation. Balance is key. Um, this health journey is not going to work. It's not going to be long lasting if you're miserable.
Mhm.
And weeklies are just kind of there to help you be a little less miserable, to give you that flexibility and freedom to eat the things you want in moderation and still have it fit. Because some people like stress out over like I've gone over my bites by like 30. But if you have those weeklies there, and even though you're over by 30, you still see, oh, I haven't gone over my weeklies. It just kind of helps with the mindset a
Mhm.
little bit.
But all on Instagram mentioned that they're loving the Quest protein bars, and
We love
we
the
like
Quest
them.
Hero bars. Those are
Yes.
so good.
I
So
don't know
good.
if any of you have tried, but the GNC has an exclusive flavor of the Bear Bells, the lemon cheesecake.
It's so
And
good.
I think that those are probably the best protein bars I've ever had in my entire life. It has like this gel kind of
Like lemon curd
lemony
almost.
curd on it, and
It's very
I
good.
didn't get much cheesecake, but it was very lemony and it was very
Someone
delicious.
just said try Bear Bell. I love Bear
Yes.
Bell. Chocolate dough is still my favorite. The lemon was good, but chocolate dough,
Bear Ball's really
chef's
good.
kiss, so good.
I think we've tried True Bar too as well. Have we?
Huh.
True Bar.
I don't know if I've tried True Bar.
Bear Bell is definitely a good option as well. But
Yeah.
yes, those protein bars.
Aldi has a really good protein bar too.
Yes, we did a
Cookie
there's a
dough.
cookie dough one.
I don't
Now,
know if I've
granted, it
tried
does
one.
have a little extra sugars in it, but it has a lot more protein. So if you're gonna have a candy bar, have one that has have a bunch of protein in
Yeah.
there too.
Anyways, I don't know how we started talking about protein bar. Well, I do. We talked about Quest bars. And somebody else talked about the Quest tortilla chips. Those are good too. Those are very
Mm.
good.
I love the taco flavor ones because you can taste the taco
You
meat,
can
the
literally
lettuce
taste
and
everything
tomato,
in there. I don't know
and
how they do that.
it's delicious. All right,
But anyways, but yes, weeklies are there to be used. Moral of the story, they're there to be used. Don't feel bad about using them, and don't feel like if you use them, your weight loss is just gonna not be non-existent. So
absolutely. So, did you want to move on to the recipe or?
sure.
Yes. So let's move on to the
This
recipe.
is a very simple recipe. It's honestly probably going to take me about 30 seconds to talk about. It's
But
very simple,
it is
but it's
delicious.
something we make probably weekly. And I was like, I should probably share that.
Mhm.
So,
Absolutely. So here we go. It's a protein ranch.
yes, protein ranch. Surprise, surprise, it uses cottage cheese. It's literally a cup and a half of cottage cheese and a package of ranch dressing mix. Throw them in the blender or food processor together and just blend up until smooth. It might be a little thick. You can add milk or water.
Hmm.
But if you do that, hold on, I'm trying to get the recipe up here. It's really tiny on the screen, so I can get all this stuff.
Yes. Oh,
But
I meant to switch that over to
yeah, no
the
problem.
recipe. But also, if you're not a huge a cottage cheese fan, this does not
It
taste
does
like
not
cottage
taste like
cheese
cottage cheese.
at all. And also, with you blending it, it has a really good consistency as well.
Yes, what I was saying was, it might be a little thick. Add a little bit of milk or water,
Hmm.
and then blend it again, and until you get the consistency. I know people vary on how they like their ranch dressing. Some people like it very thick, like for dips.
Hmm.
Some people like it like basically like straight up water. I'm kind of an in between girly. But yes, so literally, I'll say it again because it's really easy. A cup and a half of cottage cheese, and an ounce, which is equal to 1 packet of ranch seasoning mix. Food processor, blend it, and it's done. You can use this in veggies. You can use this on salad. You can use this like as a dip for anything. So good. Also, if you really, really, really just despise cottage cheese and you're just like, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it, you can use a cup and a half of Greek yogurt instead.
Hmm.
But we just like the taste, the flavor of the cottage cheese.
And it has a good amount of protein in it too, so you really
Yes.
can't
Speaking of
go. Oh
protein,
yes.
one serving of this, and keep in mind this is a ranch dressing. One serving has 7 grams of protein
Hmm.
for a dressing or a dip.
Yes.
That's pretty good. 1.5 carbs, And then, sorry, it's really small on my phone. We normally have a whole nother screen that we're
Yeah.
looking at. Um, and one bite on all plans, 40 calories, and like I said, 1.5 net carbs.
And what's the serving amount on that?
Serving amount, it makes 6 servings, so whatever 1.5 cups divided by 6.
Yes, and you can have a little bit more if you're having on a salad, a little less if you're having a dips. Personally, the
A
only
fourth a cup.
fourth the cup.
I had to do the math in my head.
Yes. Personally, the only way I like carrots is when they're raw with a dip like this. Courtney likes them cooked and a little bit more on the
Cooked with
sweeter
like
side.
cinnamon and sugar.
Yes. But it's really good on a salad. I also, to make it stretch a little bit, I love having a salsa added into it too, so you can add more wetness for those that like to drench their salads in dressing without adding too much of the calories.
Yes, but I actually got this idea because we get those salad kits, and I want people, I like to drench my salad in dressing, and it's never enough. It's never enough. So I was like, why don't I just add some cottage cheese to it? And I added it, and it just like, I actually added it to a Caesar salad, and it still tasted like Caesar dressing. Like it didn't change the flavor, it just added protein and creaminess. So I was like, "Oh, I could totally make a ranch dressing out of this cottage cheese." And that's what I did.
Absolutely. So that's delicious. So let us know if you've tried something similar to this. I know there's a lot of different options out there for having healthy dressings. I would love to do a healthy Caesar dressing. Those are really, I personally really love Caesar dressing the most. Good question. Somebody on Instagram mentioned why protein is so important. It is very important. So one of the important factors is a muscle mass. If you're doing any kind of exercise, like us, we're doing strength training. Strength training tears protein, tears your muscles, and then protein will help repair those to help you build the muscles. But also, protein will help you process carbs a little bit more slower. So when Courtney was pregnant and had gestational diabetes, they recommended having equal amount of protein along with carbs. So she has something with 30 carbs, has something with 30 grams of protein, and that helps process and slow down the digestion of the carbs so that you don't have a sugar spike. So it really is important for sugar spike too.
Yes, the
So
protein also keeps you full longer.
exactly. So multiple things. It helps with building muscles and keeping them maintained. It helps slow down the digestion of carbs and sugars, so you don't have spikes, and it also keeps you full longer too. So if you have a salad that has, cottage cheese, um, chicken breast, those types of things, that will keep you more full than just having lettuce and a few veggies along with the dressing. So, so protein is very important for multiple reasons.
Yes.
But it's a good question. Absolutely. Love those questions.
Yep.
All right.
I guess that's it.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us this week. We will be back next week with another amazing topic, and we'll also be back home in our normal environment.
And hopefully we can get the lighting there better than last time. So.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us this week. I hope you have a wonderful week, and we will see you all next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.